We're back. Dr. Jacques Despici of Soho MD here at the Bullpen at the JP Morgan Healthcare Conference, here with James Cavuoto of Neurotech Report. Great to have you here.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, so could you tell us your background, what got you here?
Sure. So I'm with Neurotech Reports. It's a publishing and market intelligence firm covering the neurotechnology industry, which we started 23 years ago.
Wow.
At the turn of the century, and seen some amazing progress in the industry. But we define neurotechnology as the intersection of electronics and other forms of communication with the human nervous system, whether that be the brain, the spinal cord, or peripheral nervous system, or neuromuscular system. And I've been covering the field for 23 years. We have a couple of publications in the space, and we also perform market research and have a couple of conferences, including the Neurotech Leaders Forum, which is in its 23rd year.
Wow. And so, prior to starting the report, could you tell us like what led you to it? Like what was going on that made you inspired to
kind of a circuitous path for me, but appreciate the question. I actually was a biomedical engineering student at Case Western Reserve University in the early days. The field was very new, and there really wasn't a lot of opportunity for biomedical engineering graduates. However, there was a lot of demand at the time in tech and in aerospace, and I actually started, my first job was with Hughes Aircraft Company in Los Angeles. So I worked in aerospace, and from there, that took me into lasers, and I was the editor of a laser magazine for a couple of years, and then got really interested in some of the applications of lasers in reprographics. So I was kind of at the forefront of this whole electronic publishing boom. We called it desktop publishing at the time. This was in the 80s. I'm dating myself. Yeah. So I started a couple of publications in that space, and did that for about 15 years.
Wow.
Got an opportunity to sell the publications. When I did, there was a 5-year non-compete, and I was ready to do something else. So I said, I wonder what's happening in biomedical engineering. So I went back to Case and met with my former professors who had gone on to become leading figures in the field of neural engineering.
Wow.
And I called it my Rip Van Winkle moment, because 20 years had gone by, and I wanted to see what had happened, and a lot had happened. And I said, wow, I want to start a publication. And they said, we'll help you. So they hooked me up with a new assistant professor by the name of Warren Grill, who's now at Duke University and one of the leading researchers in the field. And we started a publication called Neurotech Business Report, which is in its 23rd, I guess it's now our 24th year, right?
Wow.
Because it's January.
And in terms of neurotech, what's been so exciting about the area of the field over the years?
What's been so exciting is just seeing the range of different disciplines or different disorders that have been able to be helped by neurotech therapies, ranging from psychiatric disorders to pain. I know you had a good conversation with Dave about pain, and pain is certainly one of the drivers of the neurotech industry, but many others, from bowel and bladder disorders to respiratory disorders. So it's really a range of technologies that can help just a wide swath of people.
And in terms of the work that you're doing now and for 24, what excites you the most?
I get probably most excited about advances in neuromodulation for psychiatric disorders, just because it's such an unmet need. There's a disorder called treatment-resistant depression, and this is a disorder that is really debilitating. And there's a large percentage of people with this disorder who aren't helped by pharmaceuticals, aren't helped even by cognitive behavioral therapy and other approaches. And so neuromodulation has come along, different forms, non-invasive therapies using magnetic stimulation, to experimental deep brain stimulation. I think I mentioned to you Dr. Helen Mayberg at Mount Sinai Medical School, and she's one of the leading investigators. There are others, but basically trying to trace the pathways in the brain, the depression circuit, if you will, and find out where there's aberrations and how can we use neuromodulation to correct those neural circuits that have gone bad.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And in terms of the bullpen community, what's your ask?
Well, we just want to spread the word and really hopefully let the biotech community and the pharmaceutical industry know that there's this new range of technologies where the new doses, if you will, are not pills, but maybe they're bursts of electricity. There's a branch of medicine we call bioelectronic medicine. And this really represents kind of the intersection of traditional pharmacology with neuromodulation. And so how it might differ a little bit from traditional neurotech is that we're using neuromodulation and similar approaches to treat disorders that are not necessarily nervous system disorders, not CNS disorders. So for instance, a respiratory disorder, a bowel and bladder disorder, or hypertension. So there's a lot of interesting new therapies that are either alternatives to or can be used in conjunction with pharmaceutical therapies. So yeah, I guess the ask would be to take a look at what's available, and of course, if you're interested in subscribing to one of our publications, we'd love to have you visit our website, which is www.neurotechreports.com.
So if you want to learn more about James Cavuoto and Neurotech Report, you can go to bullpen.ventures, and the link in bio and information are there.